BlogTalkRadio, the world's largest online radio network.
Good morning, and welcome to Columbia Department of Surgery's interactive Ask the Expert radio show. I'm here with Dr. Robert T. Grant, Plastic Surgeon-in-Chief for the Combined Divisions of Plastic Surgery at York-Presbyterian Hospital and Columbia University Medical Center and Weill Cornell Medical Center, with his partners Brooke Alpert, expert nutritionist and founder of Be Nutritious, and Jacqui Stafford, noted stylist and author of the upcoming book, The Wow Factor, Game-Changing Style Secrets from a Fashion Insider. We're here today to talk about how you can look and feel your best at every stage of your life. Dr. Grant, Brooke Alpert, and Jacqui Stafford have an incredibly unique partnership that they call Dr. G and the Women, which was recently featured in Town and Country magazine. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good to be here.
Hi, great to be here as well.
Great to have you. All right, so we're going to kick off with a question from Sally. The first question is, as I get older, I've been noticing a loss in skin elasticity, especially in my face, eyelids, and neck. What can I do to help with this problem I'm facing?
I'll grab this one first, Dr. Grant. You know, the best way to take care of this problem really has to do with prevention. So making sure that you minimize the amount of direct sun you get is probably the most important thing to keep your skin elastic as long as it possibly can. So use lots of sunblock every day, listeners. The other thing to do is minimize the problems that we often see with patients who aren't getting enough hydration, and this means not only drinking enough water during the day, but also minimizing your intake of alcoholic beverages and other recreational and non-recreational drugs. Finally, we begin to move through some of the things that plastic surgeons do, whether they be topical treatments that can make use of skin ointments and creams, progressing through to minimally invasive treatments that can help lines and wrinkles, like neurotoxins and fillers, and then, of course, the surgical operations that have great success in addressing these problems, facelifts, neck lifts, and eyelid surgeries. I particularly like eyelid surgeries because I think cleaning up the excess tissue around the eyes can make one look a whole lot more rejuvenated without being a flashing neon sign that you've had cosmetic plastic surgery done. So as plastic surgeons, we can do a lot. I know Jacqui and Brooke, they have some tips as well from their perspective that can help deal with patients who are dealing with those particular kinds of skin elasticity issues as well.
I'll take it from here now. It's Brooke from Be Nutritious. When it comes to skin elasticity, the first thing we think of is pumping up your collagen. Great thing to do that are vitamin C-rich foods. So reach for the oranges, reach for strawberries, red peppers, all fruits like kiwis, lots of vitamin C, which really, really plumps up your skin by promoting collagen production. In addition, keep hydrated. Hydrated skin is fuller-looking skin, so make sure you're getting your water in every day.
And are you done, Brooke, with those fabulous tips?
I am done with my tips, Jacqui.
Well, I would love to jump in and give a style aspect. It's Jacqui Stafford from JacquiStafford.com. One of the things that I always tell people, they want to add some luminosity to their face to help them look younger and fresher. A great way to do that is use paler, lighter shades, because what that does is reflect the light, so it draws the lightness up to the top half of your body and makes your skin look more luminous, therefore younger. So you want to think about pale lemon, pale blue, pinker tones, these very warm, light, very summery shades that throw light onto your face, reflect the light, and give you that luminosity from within, as if you've been lit from within. Another tip I like to give about making your skin look a bit more elasticized, a little fresher, is go for something with a little V. You don't want anything that's too up the top of the neck. That can really make your neck look a bit more like a choking neck. It makes your neck look shorter, can make your face look actually squatter. So a lot of people think I need to cover up my neck. The actual truth is you need to elongate your neck. So you're looking for things at little small V's, anything that draws the eye up and down the body to make you look longer and leaner and fresher.
Jacqui, how about the kinds of things that people might want to do in terms of jewelry to help camouflage some of those issues and make the neck appear longer, which I agree is a wonderful kind of characteristic towards enhanced appearance?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Dr. Grant, because I know you're asking about these fabulous questions because you're asking with all your clients that come. So, first of all, I just want to make sure that our listeners know that they can learn more about the partnership. We three really work together as a trilogy. So, what we like to do is work on the life enhancement stage, where there's the cosmetic plastic surgery options, there's nutrition options, and there's a style option. So between the three of us, we really have the options to maximize your life and get you to look the best version of you ever. Now, we have a partnership. It's Dr. G and the women, or we, as Lauren mentioned when she set up this call, that we will feature in Town and Country. You can get more information about it at robertgrantmd.com. But I just want to answer that last question that you gave me, Dr. Grant, and that's something about earrings. Now, I have a new book coming out. You probably heard about it. And one of the secrets I give is how to make your face look longer and slimmer and more fresher. And I like to give a longer earring, because what that does, it draws the eye up and down, so it creates more length. If you're going to a very shorter earring, a rounder earring, it's going to make your face look a bit shorter. So add length if you can. That's the secret, is to add a little bit of length so your face looks longer and leaner and then more fresher.
How about around the neck? Any tips for people to try and enhance the appearance of their neck, either with particular clothing styles or with particular pieces of jewelry?
Yeah, well, that's a great question, because a lot of women think that they should have a shorter necklace because they think, oh, a nice short necklace will cover up my neckline. In actual fact, you want to think about the opposite. You want to think about lengthening your body. So you can look younger and thinner immediately if you just add a longer necklace. So a necklace that hits just towards the navel, below the bust line. You don't want anything that settles on the bust, because it can look like it's sitting on a shelf. And that's never a good look. So you want to go, rather than a choker necklace that's going to make the neck look shorter, you want to go for longer, leaner lines that lengthen the body. These are all tricks that make you look younger.
Fantastic, Lauren. I think we're ready for the next question.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you all. And again, to learn more about Dr. Grant, Brooke Alpert, and Jacqui Stafford's partnership, please visit www.robertgrantmd.com and click partnership page. The next question is from Jennifer in New York City. Her question is, I'm in my 30s, and no matter what I do, I can't seem to get rid of my muffin top. What do you recommend to do to help me get the figure that I would so desire?
Ooh, can I lead with this?
Please
yes,
do.
Indeed.
The muffin top is one of my favorite topics to discuss here. And one of the best things nutritionally is sort of not what people would normally think. One of the greatest things to battle the belly bulge is by increasing the amount of healthy monounsaturated fats. So it's sort of almost counterintuitive to increase the amount of fat to battle fat, but numerous of studies have now shown that monounsaturated fats, like the fats we find in avocado, the fats that we find in nuts and olive oil, all of that good stuff can absolutely help battle tummy bulges, especially the dreaded muffin top. So adding avocado into your salad, by adding nuts into your morning oatmeal, great ways for you to get those healthy monounsaturated fats, all while battling that dreaded muffin top. In addition, avoiding foods that bloat you, so all of those really high-carby foods, the white flour, the white starches, white sugar, all leads to belly bloating. So you can de-bloat with some great, anti-bloaters, such as anything with avocado, anything that has a high amount of potassium. So avocado, cantaloupe, oranges, potatoes, really nice sources of potassium. The potatoes, you want to make sure you do sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes. But all of those are really healthy de-bloaters. So between the monounsaturated fats to the potassium-rich foods, great ways to battle the muffin top and the belly bulge. Now, who wants to go next, Dr. G or
I think
Jacqui?
Dr. G should go next.
So one of the areas for men in particular, we don't call it the muffin top. We just call it love handles, but it's the same area. And it's an area that is notorious for being diet and exercise resistant. So the great invention of liposuction a generation ago really has revolutionized surgical treatment for this particular problem. But I'd just like to reinforce with my patients about how liposuction is not a weight loss surgery. It's a contouring operation. You're really not going to lose much in the way of overall body weight. But what liposuction can do is it can improve body contour. And when I get my best results, it's in women who've done everything that they can. They've addressed the nutrition. The one thing that we can't control is the elasticity in the skin, and that's in some patients who've been through extremes of weight change, whether it's just because of their own diet or because they've gone through a number of pregnancies. If the skin elasticity isn't there, sometimes even though liposuction can successfully get rid of the excess fat, it may not get rid of or tighten up the loose skin. And there you need to individualize the consultation with the plastic surgeon to address whether or not that's just a very specific area or whether or not it's more global in terms of needing to address the front, back, and sides of the woman in order to give her the most flattering abdominal contour. So surgically, there's lots of things that I can do. Liposuction is wonderful. There's lots of enhanced types of liposuction nowadays that your plastic surgeon can talk to you about, that some of which use power-assisted types of adjunct technologies. Others use lasers. Regardless, it isn't quite so much the tool that the doctor uses as long as the doctor has a track record which shows the kind of results that you think you'd like to get, and he can show that he or she has achieved those particular kinds of results in similar patients that he or she has previously treated. Jacqui, I know this is an area, where a flattering stylist or a stylist can help, flatter the figure greatly.
Oh, well, I'd love to go into that. But first of all, I have a question for you, Dr. Grant. And now you're famous for saying no to patients. So I would love to hear more about your philosophy on, because I think a lot of people feel that plastic surgeons, especially someone as highly elevated as you are, that you take a lot of patients and you can really deal with whoever you want, but you're very careful about the patients that you take on, correct? I know that you will definitely say to patients if you don't feel that they're candidates for liposuctions. I'd love you to tell the listeners a little bit more about your philosophy, because I think you stand out among the many, many hundreds of options.
Well, Jacqui, thank you so very much for those comments. The reason that we got together as a partnership was my realization that surgery alone is not going to be able to address all of the issues relative to making us look and feel our best. Yes, I can do lots of wonderful things with surgical procedures, but if you're not a good or even ideal candidate for the operations, many times you can get a much improved outcome by paying better attention to your eating habits and making healthier lifestyle choices, and making sure that an operation is going to actually get you the results that you're interested in and not just make you look different, but make you look better. So really taking care of the patient as a doctor first and a plastic surgeon second, led me over my own professional development to realize that I needed to focus much more on the patient's overall health and wellness, talk about lifestyle choices, talk about things like working out and exercise, both to build up their heart, not only for their longevity, but also to do a little bit in the way of muscle building so that we have enhanced metabolism of the foods that we're eating, since we know, and I'm sure Brooke will talk more about how muscle burns up so many more calories at rest than does fat. So the opportunity to be able to really serve as a consultant, to partner with the patients, is something that I enjoy. And, I like to have happy patients. I don't like to overpromise results. And many times, one of the interesting things in New York is that people are often subjected to, the quick fix or the easy solution because we all have very busy lives and don't have time. It seems 24 hours in a day just isn't enough. But as a doctor, I take my responsibility very seriously to be a patient advocate. And if an operation isn't the thing to do, I'm going to tell the patient that. And I'm delighted that I have fantastic and talented colleagues like you and Brooke, Jacqui, that I can allow them to explore other areas to look and feel better and not go through the cost, expense, and recovery with a surgery that ultimately may leave them disappointed anyway.
Well, I know for a fact, just from all the people that I've recommended to you and all the patients that I've worked with, that have all said to me that your philosophy is so different to many doctors in your position. So I really applaud you for that. So, and on that note, I'm going to talk about a few of my styling options that I would do for this, for the muffin top, because so this is probably the number one question I get asked by women. So very, very briefly, it's just about relocating the waistline. So if you have a muffin top, if you have a less than perfect tummy, it's maybe not something that liposuction will be perfect for. You just need a little bit of a styling option. Then here are the insider secrets. You want to relocate the waist either above the waistline or below the waistline. Here's how you do it. You want to look for anything with an empire waist. An empire waist is a waistline that cinches just below the bust line, and on every single woman, that's actually the smallest part of the woman's torso. So anything that cinches in there and then flows and smooths and just glides over the rest of your body is not going to draw attention to your waistline because you've relocated it. That's one option. Another option is putting the waistline below the natural waist. And with that, you might do that with a belt, for example. So maybe you're belting something that skims over the natural waistline. Here's the secret. If you have a large bust, you want to go for a smaller width belt. The reason is if you go for a big, wide belt, it shortens the distance in your torso and can make you look even heavier. So go for a small or a mid-width belt just below the natural waistline to help elongate your torso to actually relocate the waist and make you look slimmer. So with that, we'll go to maybe our next question.
But, Jacqui, I have a quick question for you. Do you think that before all these low-rise pants that have been in style now for so long that muffin tops weren't as much of a problem? Is it the low-rise pants that gives us so many people that muffin top that goes over their pants because they're not fitting properly?
Let me tell you the number one problem. It's nothing to do with the style of the pant. It's about wearing the thing that's wrong for your body or not wearing the right size. So many women try and cram themselves into a size that's too small for them because they refuse to go up from a 4 to a 6 or a 6 to an 8. So they get stuck on the label. I call them label whores. They get stuck on the label and they refuse to buy the size that works for them. And the trick to style is getting something that works for you, not that something that looks great on the shop mannequin. So find the clothing that works for your body shape. There's a whole section about it in my upcoming book. So it's all about your body shape, finding the style that works for your body shape. That's really key with style.
Thank you so much. That was so interesting. We have a caller, Carolyn, who would like to ask you a question about facial exercises and how that may or may not prevent wrinkles. I'm going to patch her in right now. Carolyn, you're live.
Yes, hello. This is Carolyn. Hi, Dr. Grant. I was wondering, I'm a 40-year-old woman, 40-something-year-old woman, and I'm starting to notice the signs of aging, and I am starting to get some wrinkles, which, of course, I don't want, and I'm not ready for the Botox injections or, anything that's so invasive. And so I've noticed online there's a lot of facial exercises that I see that people can do, and I've seen celebrities endorse them. And I'm just wondering, does this work? Does this remove any of, the current wrinkles that I have? I actually have 5 wrinkles. I have 5 of them. I have named them individually. Would it remove them, or will it just help prevent future ones, or does it do nothing at all? Is it just New Age hoax?
Well, Carolyn, thanks so much for your call. That's a fantastic question. And, of course, it's a fantastic question because it's not a simple answer. So just let me talk about a couple of things that have to do with the muscles in the face. They're different than the muscles of the arms or the legs. And when you see bodybuilders work on building up those muscles, you can't build bulk in the face the way that you can build in the arms or legs, because the muscles of the face are not attached to long bones. They attach to other layers of the skin, since we're not trying to move big masses of extremities when we contract those muscles.
Right, so I wouldn't want to bulk.
Right. So some of the bulk effect, however, is helpful, and that's why we use fillers and other volumizers in the face, because a more full face is associated with a more youthful appearance. So some people have proposed building up the muscle of the face because it helps fill up the muscle. The muscle mass increases the bulk, and I personally don't agree with that. I think that the muscles can supply enhanced blood supply to the skin. The better the blood supply to the skin, that can help the skin get all these nutrients that Brooke wants to talk about to the area where they need to go. But I think you have to be careful, and this is what I call the Goldilocks syndrome. You want to do it just right. You don't want too much or too little. we get a lot of dynamic lines and wrinkles in our face from overactivity of our muscles. So if we're out in the sun without sunblock or sunglasses, that's where those crow's feet lines come from. If we're doing a lot of overexpression of the face, worrying, that's where the lines between the eyebrows and up in the forehead come from. So
right.
the muscle can't generate enough energy to burn off the extra fat in the face. You can't build it up in order to really have it serve as a filler. So I'm not a big proponent of facial exercises. I think exercise in general, both aerobic exercise as well as some extremity building up exercise, is important for keeping yourself healthy looking, because it will increase your metabolic fire, so to speak. But just trying to focus specifically on the face, well, I use the analogy of people, when I was a kid, they used to use those exercise belts. Nowadays you just see them on the old comedy shows where, they'd put the exercise belt and they'd put it around their waist and try and shake the fat away. It just doesn't work that well. And while facial exercises may or may not be something to recommend, they'd be way down low on my list of recommendations for how to look and feel your best and generate your energy and effort that way doing something else.
Right. I do have a regular muscle exercise routine that works for my body. Since it's facial thing, it's something that's new. The wrinkles are new. And this has only been 2 weeks now that I've tried it, and I actually have not seen any improvement whatsoever. And what I have seen, which I am a very, very, very fair complected person. My complexion is almost white, almost to albino. And what I have seen is a little bit more spider veins, actually, from some of the facial muscle exercises that have been suggested, such as the one where you suck your cheeks in to make your mouth like a fish mouth, and then pop it open and open your eyes wide, has put a couple of little spider veins.
So in my experience, not to interrupt too much, but I would say probably this would be low on the list of evidence that it either hurts or helps, but you're not going to generate significant improvement one way or the other if you decide that this is the only thing you're going to do to make yourself look better.
Right, and it's not going to do any kind of preventive then. You don't feel that in any way that's a prevent. Because, I took what I found on the Internet, I put it together, and now I softened it and tried to tone it down more towards my knees, which are just
Carolyn, I hate to cut you off. I so appreciate. We might need to continue this conversation offline, but definitely would love to set up a meeting for you and Dr. Grant to discuss further.
Oh yes, of course.
And we'll definitely have our team give you his contact information. But thank you so much for calling.
Yes, no, thank you.
I want to make sure we can get to other callers as well.
Yes, of course. And thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate the information. This is very helpful to me.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye now. So our next question is from a woman named Diane in New Jersey. And her question is, a little background, she has very large breasts and a petite frame. She's considering a breast reduction, but wanted to know if there's anything that she should, what she should be thinking about when considering having a breast reduction, and also what, from a clothing style standpoint, she could wear to kind of reduce the appearance of her large bosom and petite frame.
Dr. Grant, I'll let you answer your part first, and just to give a little side note, one of my best friends had breast reduction, and it absolutely, completely changed her life. So I can't recommend it highly enough. So Dr. Grant will I'm sure, explain all the benefits.
Yes, Jacqui, you're absolutely right. They're amongst the happiest patients in my practice, because there's nothing really, even if you do everything that Brooke says in terms of diet and nutrition, and you work out, sometimes the genetic cards as they fall make it so that you have breasts way out of proportion for your frame. So the operation works. It's one that has a lot of very good outcome studies to show that the trade-off in terms of the scars and potential decreased sensation in the area is one that women accept readily in terms for the relief in back and neck pain, improved breathing, ability to exercise further. Most patients can breastfeed afterwards, although that may be an issue and can't be promised. So those are things that will be covered at a consultation with the plastic surgeon. But what's interesting from my perspective, Jacqui, is after the patients have had the breast reduction, while there are certainly things that they can do to minimize the appearance of their bust beforehand, many times there's a transition. They have to sort of learn to redress themselves, so to speak, not only for this operation, but for many of the body contouring things that we do. And that's where I find our partnership to be particularly helpful. So I'd like to throw that over to you and then make sure that Brooke gets the opportunity to talk a little bit about ways to use her skills in nutrition to enhance one's postoperative recovery and sense of well-being.
Okay. Well, if you're definitely petite and you have larger breasts, it's definitely challenging. I empathize. I have a lot of my clients that have this same problem, so I really empathize with our listener. But one of the ways of dressing is think about, you want to create more balance to your bottom half. It might sound counterintuitive. You might think, well, why would I want to add volume to my bottom half when I've got volume at my top half? Well, the trick is that you want to create some type of balanced proportion. So, for example, you would want to go for something that's slightly more fitted at the top half of you, maybe with a very small V, nothing that's going to show too much cleavage, because that can make you look older and heavier. Very relatively fitted, just something that will skim the body, and then add a little bit of a slight A-line flare at the bottom half. And what that does is helps create a more hourglass silhouette from you. Because the problem that a lot of women tend to do is they tend to wear things in the top half and wear a very skinny bottom half, thinking that it's going to make them look overall more slimmer. But in actual fact, it just makes you look even more top-heavy. So the trick is, just to clarify, the trick is you want to downplay the top half by wearing more fitted pieces, not showing off too much cleavage, and add a little bit of volume to the bottom half, maybe a wide leg pant, a slight A-line flared skirt, or an A-line dress, something that's going to balance out the body. So, Dr. Grant, I'll hand it over to... Oh, no, actually, no, Dr. Brooke, I'll hand it over to you for nutrition expert advice.
I'm jumping in, absolutely. I think what's really important when it comes to all of these surgeries, whether it's breast reduction, whether it's a tummy tuck, anything that's doing a major change to your body, is that you get to the surgery day in the absolute best condition that you possibly can. So if you're going in for a tummy tuck, if you're going in for a breast reduction... Let's make sure that you are at a weight you want to be at. Let's make sure that this is the body that you want to have with whatever adjustment that Dr. Grant will be making. And this is where I think our partnership is so amazing. These people are really going to get the best results from the surgery. I've had so many clients that have come to me, separate from Dr. Grant, who've had a tummy tuck and then put weight on because they couldn't maintain the weight they were at. And then all of a sudden the tummy tuck they had was no longer doing what it needed to do because they had put on 30 pounds after having it, or same thing for breast reduction. So the best thing is to get to the table, to get to Dr. Grant's office saying, I'm at this weight, I can maintain it. This is a healthy weight for me. I've lost it using the proper tools by seeing a nutritionist such as someone here at Be Nutritious, part of my practice. And now I can have the final stage to my body transformation. And this way, once the recovery is done, you get right back to exercising, you get right back to eating well, and you'll get your best you possible. And that's where the trifecta of the three of us working together makes us unstoppable, and our patients and clients get the best results possible.
That was such a great wrap-up. Thank you. So we have about a minute left today, and I want to thank all three of you for your time. I believe you truly helped our listeners look and feel their best at any age with your fabulous advice. This really is a special partnership. Now, if you'd like to learn more about Dr. G and the women, please make sure to visit www.robertgrantmd.com and click the Partnership tab. We also apologize if we did not get to answer your question today, but we'd love to hear from you. Please email us at drgandthewomen@gmail.com, and we will be in touch soon. Thank you again, Dr. Grant, Brooke, and Jacqui, and we look forward to having you on a future show. This is Columbia Department of Surgery, Ask the Expert, signing out. Hope to speak with you all again soon.
Blog Talk Radio, where millions of hosts and listeners gather.